chances are you've seen my next guest being. Let me start that over because that was not proper. Okay. If you're on Instagram, chances are you've either seen my next guest, been influenced by my next guest, or been influenced by someone who's been influenced by my next guest. She's a wife and a mom of two from Brooklyn with a growing empire inspired by her love of Hawaii, her love of color, and all things joy. Please welcome the founder of Dressed in Joy, Mikaela Pabon, to
Hello.
Intimate Details with Dr. Tiff.
Hi.
Hi. And yes, I'm dressed in joy today. Dressed in joy.
Me
Dressed
too.
in joy. Yes. And you look amazing. I love
Thank
that
you.
print. I love the new release prints that you did. The polka dot. I want the polka dot crop top, even though my stomach isn't quite ready for the
Child,
crop.
mine never is, but I'll be ready.
I'm going to let it do what it do because you always say that. And see, this is what I realize in following the girlies. We all have this thing about our midsections. Some of us don't. But we all have that thing about our midsections. I think that we always think it looks worse than what it does because in pictures, I'm looking at you, I'm like, oh, snatched. And if she can do that, then I can do that. Then I don't need to worry.
One, I know what to do in pictures.
You do know what to do in pictures.
Visible. But also I know what to wear. Like I know how to zhuzh
it, how to scrunchy it, and all the things.
Yeah.
I pick up what you're laying down. And if you don't know how to pose in a picture, if you don't know what angle is good and how to catch that light, then you need to be following Mikaela.Pabon on Instagram. Because one thing that I love about you, and we'll just go ahead and get into it. One thing that I love about you is that you share so much. You share Dressed in Joy, obviously, and we're going to get into that. You share also your family with us. You're very generous online. And you're generous with us, not just in the content that you create, but how you create the content that you create. And you've taught me so much about reels, how to, people aren't doing it as much anymore. I guess they still are with the jumping into the clothes and the outfits and the transitions and all of that. That seems so foreign to me and I could never figure out how they were done. And I was like, I missed my mark. I'm way too old for this. And Mikaela's like, no, baby girl, sit down. I got you. Let me show you how this is done. You do the voiceovers really well with like, okay, now we're going to go here. And this is how we do this. And
That's really how I talk. That's the crazy thing. Like, that's really how I speak. Like, I'm not putting on voice. Like,
no, it's perfect. It's perfect. And I'm so engaged. I'm like, oh, okay, let me save this, play it back, go over, download this app, do this, blend it together, and boom. Yes. I've learned so much from you. But so just one trick, one tip here. Okay. What are we doing to make myself look snatched in the photo, even when my gut is out to here because I just had a cheeseburger and fries, because that's a normal occasion.
The thing that I always do is I will, if I'm flat, like if I'm in sneakers or if I'm barefoot, I'm always on my toes because I'm short. I'm only 5'3". So
I wouldn't know.
That makes me feel, even if I look 2 inches taller. I feel taller, so I feel more confident. I will step forward with one foot and kind of cross over a little bit, and then
you do that.
Tooch the booty, like push your hips back.
See, that's the part that I don't do. Is the
tooch. I've been watching America's Next Top Model since forever.
I love that part. Oh, I'm gonna try that.
Yes, that's the key, is the tooch.
Oh, the hoes gonna love this one because okay, I got it now. They're gonna be scared of me. Well, let's talk about Dressed in Joy, because I think I first became aware of you from a mutual friend of ours, a hairstylist, Gabby.
Oh yeah,
Gabby Cornell. Yes, and at the time, I feel like, because this was years ago, I feel like Dressed in Joy was mostly athleisure. It was the hoodies, the leggings, joggers. You had started, I think you might have did you have some kids stuff too, like with your son?
Yes,
Like very early on?
he designed a t-shirt like 2020. Yeah, like June or July of 2020, we launched a t-shirt line for him.
So it was way before then though. It was way before. I don't know why I thought he had something else going on then. But so it was the hoodies, it was the joggers, it was the leggings, and now the brand has grown into beyond athleisure. We have dresses that twirl.
Yes.
And some that hug the curves.
Yes.
We've got the resort. Don't think I forgot about the resort. Okay. And jeans, blouses, shirts. Like you're wearing one of your shirts now. Like it has like blown way past.
Yeah.
Is this what you had in mind for Dress and Joy?
Okay. Let's go back to the beginning, that this was really all an accident. Like it, when the hoodie that you're wearing, right? I designed that because there was nothing on the market like it and I wanted it. So I had been searching for months. I'm like, I just want a colorful hoodie. I want something with like bright colors. It's printed all over with, little pops of like flowers or whatever. And nowhere. I literally couldn't find it anywhere. So I'm like, you know what? Well, maybe I'll just design it for myself. Right. So I worked with a designer. I had my my inspirations and my colors and what I wanted. And I'm like, boom, I'm going to do this. She came back with 3 designs that were absolutely horrendous. I mean, they were so ugly. And I almost was like, all right, well, I quit. Like,
this ain't meant for me. This is not.
But then you know what? I was like, okay, maybe I'll draw something out. So I kind of gave her more direction. I drew something out a little bit. I'm like, this is what I need. I need it to be larger scale, blah, blah, blah. And then she came back with this and 2 others. And I was like, this is it.
This is it.
So then I put it on a hoodie. I didn't tell anybody, not even my husband. I didn't tell anybody until the design was like shipped and on its way to me. Because at that point, I can't cancel it. I can't do anything. Right. So it was shipped to me. It came to my job. I was working at JetBlue at the time. And I put it on and I was like, oh, this is really exactly what I was looking for. So I went to work the next day and then people were like, I want one, I want one, I want one. And it's just like, what? So this is how it turned into.
You made it for yourself.
I made it for myself.
And here we go.
And I've continued to do that. I love blouses. I love jeans. I love matching sets. So I started making all this stuff that I love that I know other people will love too. And this is what it turned into.
And it is this thing that was this missing piece of the market. Like you might see a brightly colored single tone shirt or a single tone, like a bright colored pant, but not the patterns and the colors mixed together and all of that. And so when I look at your clothing and I look at the line, it is so like, it's so perfectly and aptly named too, Dressed in Joy, because it does make me feel so joyous every time I put on a piece. Like, it's like,
yeah.
It makes me want to smile. It makes me happy. And it makes the people around you happy because they love seeing you dressed in joy.
Yeah, it's very intentional. As you mentioned, like I have a love for hula. I lived in Hawaii for a little while. So, all of that really influences everything.
And inspires your work.
It makes me so happy. It makes me so joyful. So I wanted to give that to my customers in, the same way, like make them feel just as joyous as I do.
So you mentioned working at the time that you started this Dressed in Joy, working at JetBlue. Like you're working in a whole different, like the 2 industries don't go together at all. It's not like one kind of inspires the other in a way. I guess it did because your coworkers were wanting your clothing, but how did you make the transition or pivot or decide that, like, you know what, this over here is where it's at. I can leave this job that I've been working.
So that also, I won't say it was an accident, but with the pandemic, I started the hoodies back in 2019, November 2019. Pandemic hit in
Why does it feel like it's been before that to
No,
me?
no, that's it. I mean,
That is wild.
I had another boutique before that, online boutique,
Mm-hmm.
like 2015, 2016,
Okay.
but it literally didn't do anything, so that's why I had to let it
Mm-hmm.
go. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, 2019, and then when the pandemic hit in 2020, an airline, there was nobody was flying, nobody was going anywhere,
Right.
so they started offering packages for people to leave, and I had been there for 10 years. And with my age and the length of time that I had been there, they started offering like retirement packages.
Oh, wow.
So I took a retirement package. I retired at 43.
Wowzers.
um, and yeah, that's the reason that I went full time with this. I don't know that I would have felt comfortable taking the leap had that not happened.
Mm.
But yeah, that's how it happened.
Isn't it funny how God, the universe, just pushes you into the direction that you weren't planning on
Oh,
going, but
girl.
exactly where you're supposed to go?
Yeah.
Even you saying, I had this clothing store before, but it wasn't doing anything. So I let that go. Like I caught that. Like
Yeah.
I had to let that go because that wasn't where you needed to be. That wasn't what you needed to be doing. Not that you don't have a clothing store now, but that wasn't the divine.
That
That wasn't
it.
that wasn't what it that wasn't it. That wasn't it. This right here is it. So I can imagine, because I've started businesses too that maybe it wasn't the right timing or it just didn't feel right as I got more into it. It wasn't hitting like I wanted it to hit
Yeah.
and had to leave it behind or let something go. Um, I'm thinking now, like, how many people might be hearing this and thinking, damn, this is why this isn't working for me. This isn't as passionate as I am about it, as much as I want this to work. Sometimes you do have to walk away
Yeah.
in order for it to circle back in the right way.
Right. And I was never expecting that to circle back. I just thought, okay, well, um, no, this isn't working right now.
This
I
isn't it for
wasn't
me.
selling anything. I just
Mm-hmm.
kept buying. I didn't know anything about marketing. I didn't know anything about, retail, online retail, e-commerce, any of it.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought, oh yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
could do this. I'll put up some clothes. They'll be cute and people will buy it. And that's it.
If
Obviously it
only it
doesn't
were
work
that
that way.
easy. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So I was just it got to a point where I didn't enjoy it anymore. I wasn't
Mm-hmm.
in love with it anymore. And that's when I decided I have to let this go because it's more stressful than enjoyable. And
Yeah.
it just didn't feel good. So I just
Yeah, I
let
get
it
that.
go.
So then you start saying, I'm looking for a particular piece. I want something. And I do. It's funny. The creative mind is kind of like that. I do that with clothing sometimes, shoes.
Mm,
I do it with furniture where I'm like, I think I know what I want. And then I go out trying to find it. And I'm spending months,
yeah.
if not a year, trying to find this perfect bookshelf that looks a certain way. If only I had the wherewithal to make it
I, uh,
myself. Like it's really really hard out there for that creative brain, so I completely get that. One of the other things that I love about what you do in your story is you have kind of given us permission to dress in a way that just really makes us all happy, not necessarily in the way that you dress, but be, I don't want to say courageous, but open.
mm,
Be more open to mixing things that we don't automatically think go together
yeah.
on a color wheel or whatever. Like
Mm,
you've thrown so many things out the window
yeah.
and said like these rules, these old rules don't matter. I'm going to mix flowers and polka dots and show you why it works.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to mix this print. Like even what you have on right now, you've got the lilac-y sort of purpley pink, you've got cheetah, you've got flowers,
Yeah.
you've got it all. And the old me, before I got courageous and just started throwing things together and saying who cares, would have been like, okay, it never dawned on me that I could do all of these things together and make it work. Where in your brain What is it about your brain that helps you to see that? Because you see things in a way that once you put it together, I'm like, okay, yes. But I wouldn't have put those things together.
I've always been like this. Always.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
we can go back to when I was like, going clubbing with my friends, and they were in, just a typical club outfit, and I have on a striped knit like halter top with a pair of plaid pants because I just thought it was cute and I felt good in it. Booty looked good. So this is what I'm wearing for the club. The colors are bright. This is what I'm wearing. Like,
yes, this is what I'm wearing. I don't know what y'all are wearing, but that's
just
it.
Always been me. I remember one time shopping with my mom, and I'm looking through the racks, and I would just do this. I would scan the racks like this. And my mom would be like, "What are you doing? You can't even see everything." And I'm like, "Oh, I can see." And I mean, I'm telling you, I was like 12. And I'd be looking for the print that would pop out at me, the color that would pop out at me. And if it didn't pop out, I would just keep going, just with my eyes. I didn't have to use my hands. And it's just kind of always been a part of me. And I think because, I've danced Tula since I was 8, we're always wearing a red lip and bright red costumes with green adornments, fern adornments, and, yellow flowers, and like all of this. It's just been a part of me. It's what I'm accustomed to. So, I just love it.
It's wild to hear you talk about like going and doing that with your eyes, because one thing that makes me cringe so much about shopping at places, and no shade, I don't want this to sound negative, okay? But going into a place like a TJ Maxx, a Marshalls, a Ross, those racks drive me absolutely insane. It is chaos.
Yeah.
Beyond chaos.
Yeah.
And I know that there are great deals there. I know that there are some gems and things that I would probably want, but the thought of sifting through all of that, it's very rare. The last thing that I bought and it's funny, it was bright. It's probably about the color of my nails. It was a North Face jacket that I bought from TJ Maxx. And the only reason why I even knew it was there is because somebody left the TJ Maxx, or the Home Goods that I go to has a TJ Maxx connected to it, which is a problem. But someone had left it in the line leading up to the register. And I saw it and I was like, oh, this is cute. Let me, oh, it's my size. I'm taking this. And so I just bought it because it was sitting right there.
Yeah.
But I never would have gone through the racks to get it. And it's interesting to me that like what you're looking for isn't necessarily the style of the item. It's the color.
That has to
color is what draws you in.
Yeah. That's what gets me first usually. And I have that same problem at TJ Maxx, and you can find things. You really have to look,
but you got to look,
and you have to be in the mood to do that too. Because can't always. Not every day are you going to be wanting to stand there and look through racks and stuff.
Right.
I actually have an easier time shopping at thrift stores than I do TJ Maxx, because thrift stores, they have everything complete. Like, these are all the short sleeve shirts, these are all the long sleeve shirts, these are the solid colors, these are the prints. Like, they have everything like completely organized, and that just it just makes my heart sing. I love it.
Yes. So I know that you we talked about you being very generous and really sharing a lot of yourself personally and professionally, all the things on social. But I know that sometimes with that generosity, social media can be a bit of a pain in the ass.
Bless you.
Excuse me. That social media can be a bit of a pain. Can you speak to kind of, I guess, the ups and downs, the gift and the curse of social media from the perspective of someone who, I don't think you overshare.
No.
I think you're just living your life. But I think with that openness, people feel as though, oh, we're friends. I can tell you what I think about you, or what you have on, or what you've said, or how you phrase something, and I can tell you why it's wrong because you gave me permission to do that just by being open.
Yeah, it's it's a lot because I get people in my DMs who, obviously maybe have been watching my stories for years or talking to me for years, and they kind of, or not talking to me, but like in their heads maybe
engaging with you in some
yes,
sort of way,
and think that we know each other, and will, like, the first thing they'll say is, where did you get that from? And I'm just like, hi,
hold up.
let's start there. How are you? I'm fine.
Mm-hmm.
Now till you get to your question,
Yeah.
So I kind of prime people that way, like if they come at me without ever having a conversation. And then I get people who, maybe have never engaged or never anything, and then they're asking me to tell them how to start their business or asking me for advice on this and that. I'm just like, I'm giving in when I want to be giving. Like, I can't
Yeah.
always just spew out information to you just because you're asking. If I'm
Yeah.
sharing something, I'm sharing it because I'm ready to share that.
I'm giving it to you. I'm not, if I'm sharing, I'm giving it to you. I'm not asking for anything in return, or I don't necessarily need your feedback on it.
Yeah.
I'm just laying it down.
Yeah.
I'm putting out snacks. Okay. I'm setting out a tray of snacks. If you want some, take some.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
But I'm not asking you to then contribute to the snack table.
Or to tell
Okay.
me what's missing from my snack table.
Yeah. No, I don't need that. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. If you'd like that, bring that yourself. But over here, okay,
Yeah.
we're having popcorn with peanut M&Ms.
Yes. I'm
Okay.
getting used to the criticisms too, that people, disguise them as, oh, you can't take criticism, when it's really just like people coming to spew negativity for no
Yeah.
reason. Like, there's a video of
Yeah.
my husband and I walking out of the store and walking down the street. The background of that is we were filming a commercial for the NBA, and the focus was me. So I'm walking out of the store. He walks out behind me, grabs my hand. We walk 5 steps and turn around, right? Because they
Mm-hmm.
need to film it again.
Right.
I use a 3-second clip of that, not even 3 seconds, because I slowed it down in slow-mo. And people are like, oh, he's walking on the wrong side. My man would never. I can't believe
Oh my
you need to tell him
gosh.
that you can't be with a man forever. And I'm just like, are you kidding me? Like, that's the first thing you say?
The amount of time
I'm
that it
like, we're talking
takes.
about, the video says something like, I want to hold your hand at 80 and say that we lived a beautiful life. Something like that's what the voiceover says.
Yeah.
I'm like, you see this beautiful video of a Black couple happy walking down the street together, and the first thing you can think of to do is criticize that he's not walking on the right side of the street. Like, are you okay? Are you
Yeah.
okay? Because there's got to be something wrong with you, that's the first thing that you think about to
Right.
want to comment. You know what I mean?
Well, and it's not even that the thought, it's that I thought enough about it that I need to say it
Yes.
out
Yeah.
loud. Tell the person how wrong they are for
Mm-hmm.
this. Whatever happened to just mind your own business? Keep your opinion to yourself. Is this worthy of me sharing?
That's all you got to do.
Like,
Keep
yeah,
scrolling.
keep scrolling. There's so much to look at.
Yeah.
That if this bothers you, don't look at it.
Yeah.
You know? Oh my word. So how do you keep your sanity in all of that? Because I know sometimes, it's some days are probably easier than others to look past it, to scroll on, to just delete and block or whatever. And then other days, and I just know this because I happen to be on the internet sometimes when you've had enough.
Yes.
Because I'm sure it happens more than what you share.
Yeah.
But on the days that you do share, I'm like, ooh, this is delightful.
You know what?
You get when you're mad about it, like, and you're never mean with
No.
your response ever. But I know y'all done pissed mama off today.
I don't know what it is. Maybe it's this, when it's the constant, like, of the
Mm-hmm,
same thing,
mm-hmm,
then I'm like, come on, y'all. And
mm-hmm,
I try my best to just remain me, because
mm-hmm.
I'm just a kind person, in general. I hardly ever yell, not even at my kids or anything. Like that's just who I am. So I just try to remain that as I'm responding to people, because I don't know. That's just kind of who I am. So I tried my best to just remain kind and still be like, chill.
Yeah.
With the big eyes, chill.
Yeah.
But thank you.
And then the ever so polite flex of just blocking. After I say what I'm going to say, let me just hit this block right
but
quick.
You got to wait. You still got to give it like 20 minutes to make sure that they see that you responded. And then you block.
Yes.
They can't come back
and then
and say
you
anything
block.
else. Yeah.
Yes, I love it. That feels so good to
It
me.
does.
I'd be so proud of you. I'd be so proud of you. I'm like, girl, tell them with the polite little flex and the delete later. You won't get to me again. I know that's right. Well, you not only influence all of us with Dressed in Joy, but you have been a part of some major influencer and brand campaigns over the years, which that's also kind of been surprising, I guess, to me, because I think sometimes when we think about those of us who do business, we're always trying to build our own brands, rep our own brands, promote our own things. And certainly we don't necessarily want to shove that down people's throats, but you have had the ability as I think an influencer before other people were influencers to influence others to do things. And you've been doing some major influencer campaigns. And how do you juggle the responsibility of your own business and keeping that, moving on an upward trajectory, as well as doing like influencer campaigns, which I'm sure bring in some additional revenue and money to then feed back into the business or into the household?
Well, honestly, the influencer campaigns was my entire revenue. Like that's how I made money to help with the household and all of that. And I never touched my business money. Thank God I didn't, because, we needed it when we opened the retail store and had to spend all this money and all this stuff. I had a lot of money in the savings account. But it was definitely a challenge to do it all. So I'm, running the business, I'm creating all the content for the business, shipping all the orders, responding to customers, designing the creation, like everything involved in that, on top of all the influencer stuff that I have to do, which means I have to create content. Even if it's not for a brand, I have to create content to remain relevant so that brands can see me, brands can know me. Make sure my engagement was high. What kind of content? Let's do pictures. Let's do video. Like there's so much involved in trying to do both. And on top of being a mom and a wife and all of that, everything involved in that. So, at some point in the last 3 or 4 months, I realized that I just can't do it all. I mean, thankfully my husband has joined the team and he's been amazing in handling all the customer service issues and all the shipping and all the returns. And, he shoots all of my content now, like all the photos you see, he's my photographer. Like it's been amazing. But it's still just too much for me to handle, because, what we're trying to do now is trying to move Dressed in Joy into retail, and we're trying to get onto the retail calendar, which means I'm having to design spring, summer 24 right now. I have to make sure fall is complete. Like there's so much. And I can't do all of that and then also worry about my engagement on my personal page. Like it's just not sustainable. In order to grow the brand the way that we want to. So I've actually decided that I'm not going to be, the same influencer on the same level that I was, just because it's just too much work, and too much stress. And I tell you, within the last 2 weeks since, ending my agency contract, I felt so much lighter, even though I'm still really busy with the business. I felt so much lighter, like not worrying about having to create content, having to do this, having to, it's just so much lighter.
It's funny because I think we do what we have to do, right? We do what we have to do so we can do what we want to do.
Yeah. And to go back to, I'm sorry, I don't think I answered your question, but creating the content for the other brands felt organic at the time because a lot of it was brands that I loved, like Target and, things that the family used anyway. And because I share the family a lot, because I share like my personal life and walking to the store and walking here and there, it just made sense.
It flowed.
Yeah.
It flowed. It never looked forced to me, by the way.
Okay,
it never looked like, no, it never looked like, oh, they don't really eat that. She just doing that for, or they don't shop there. What did it? They just sent them that. And so she's doing it. It never felt that way. It felt very organic, very real, very natural. And the way in which you guys shot that, it looked like, okay, this is just what their family does.
Yeah.
It always made sense. Yeah, and I love that. I love that because that there are some folks on social media and you're like, I know you don't use that product.
I
know that's
there.
Not,
I know you don't.
Yeah. I know you don't shop there. I know you don't. Like, you wouldn't be caught dead in that. Like, you Gucci down to the socks.
You're not shopping
and
at
you
Walmart.
mean to tell me you don't eat that? Like, it's so funny when you see that. So everything definitely felt very authentic. But again, this is a time where you in your life are, again, at a crossroads where you're having to let something go.
Yeah. It was so hard.
That worked for you. It worked for you. It did what it was supposed to do.
Right.
What gives you the courage to take those leaps like that? Because it seems like now that we're talking, you are like, this is your thing.
Yes.
You leap. You do what you need to do for that period of time. And that's something I always say. You do what you have to do so you can do what you want to do. What you had to do in that moment was, okay, I need money coming in. I don't need to touch the business money, but I still got to contribute to this household. I got 2 head children and a husband. I got vacations that I like to take.
I need to buy.
Exactly. So, like, how am I going to make this work? Influencing natural for you based on what you were already doing in social media. And, but to walk away from that thing that gave you so much.
Yeah.
How does that, like, I do understand feeling as though like a weight has been lifted because now it frees me up to be able to do what I need to focus on. But I can also imagine that there's a bit of, I don't want to say fear, but just trepidation and like, am I doing the right thing?
There's absolutely fear. This decision took me a good month to make. Because I had this conversation with my manager, April. Was it early April? I had this conversation with her, and the conversation, I'm not going to go into how the conversation went, but after the conversation, I was extremely scared. Because I wasn't really getting a whole lot of campaigns because I wasn't doing this one certain thing that didn't feel natural to me. And I don't, as you know, I'm not going to really just do things because I have to or because I'm told I need to. So I was really scared that I was actually going to get dropped from the agency. Like, that's how I felt. And I felt like unworthy. I felt like I just didn't belong. And like I had to prove myself. And that felt terrible. I'm going to cry right now just thinking about it. That felt terrible. That's when I tell you, I had days where I just be in tears all day. Like, what am I going to do? This is how I make money. This is how, at the time, I'm like, Dre works for Dressed in Joy. So I'm kind of like the sole breadwinner for the family, because if I'm not making money, if Dressed in Joy is not making money, he's not making money either. So like, it's a lot of it is on me. So I felt like, how are we even we just moved into this apartment, like stressed. You hear me?
Yeah.
And then I just,
but then at the same time, you have someone asking you to do something that is inauthentic to you, inauthentic to your brand that you've worked so hard for, and just it doesn't sit right with your spirit.
It doesn't sit right. And Dre was just like, if it doesn't feel good, you have to think about where you need to be putting your time. Having somebody like him who's like super supportive and understands entrepreneurship. He understands like the whole influencer thing because he worked in fashion marketing and he worked with influence. Like he understands all of it. So like he's super supportive in everything and was like, we will get through it. Like whatever it is you decide to do, if you decide to leave, you decide to stay, like whatever it is, we'll get through it. And that's really what kind of pulls me up. Like we always get through. Like we've been through so much that we can always get through whatever it is. And literally a month of like telling myself that over and over again is what helped me really make the decision to finally leave the agency.
And it's so scary because you don't want to be the one to make the wrong decision that like uproots everything. That's a lot. That part is a lot of pressure in addition to everything else that you're experiencing.
Yeah, but and that's we can do it. Like the business is doing well. It had done really, really well, and now we're doing a little bit worse, but it's still doing well. So like we just got to push it a little further. And if I'm spending more time on that, then nothing they can do but
then you're not. Yeah. Doesn't it says a lot too about the person that you partner with.
Oh God, yes.
Yeah. Like that's critical in any venture, in anything that you want to do in life. The people in which you align yourself with, partner with, move forward with are so key in your ability to be exactly who you're supposed to be, meant to be, what you're supposed to do on this planet. Right? Because I think about that too. My husband is super supportive. I imagine that our husbands are very similar in that, like, I have some harebrained schemes, child. I be wanting to do anything. And he is, I mean, it's not that he doesn't like tap me on my shoulder and be like, look, now you know. Right. But he's super supportive and he's like, you know what? If anybody can do it, you can, and having that person in your corner, even when you doubt yourself or don't know what to do. One of the things that he said to me is like, you just have this ability to make it work.
Yeah.
So if you say this is going to work, he's like, I couldn't do it. It's not for me. Like, I couldn't just jump out there and do that. But things seem to work out for you. So if you think this is going to work, go ahead. And I'm like, damn, I wish you would just say yes or no. Because now it's on me if it don't work, But he's right. Yeah. Like people like, just got to make it work.
Got to make it work.
And you have made Dressed in Joy work. I've seen so many people in Dressed in Joy. And is it as shocking to you when someone just like walks past the TV screen or ends up on a TV show or just happens to go Instagram live and then they have on your hoodie or something and you're like, what?
Yes, it's still shocking. It's only been 3 years, but it's still shocking.
That's wild in 3 years.
The crazy thing is that people tell me all the time, oh, I see somebody Dressed in Joy all the time, walking down in Brooklyn all the time, in Atlanta all the time. And I'm like, I literally never see anybody. It happened one time when I saw somebody.
I remember I saw you took it and you took a picture of it and posted it.
Turned out that was my girlfriend. Oh. So she don't count.
She does count because she had a closet full of clothes
and she chose the hoodie.
She could have wore and she chose Dressed in Joy. I've seen it. It's perfect. The athleisure is, already perfect for travel. Yes. Like the airplane is the place. Yep. If I got a travel day, this is the best thing to wear. But it is, I've seen it in the wild. I like to say it's Dressed in Joy in the wild.
Oh my God.
So yeah, I've seen it in the wild a couple of times in Atlanta. And I actually, on our second episode, I want to say with Victor, I had on the green hoodie. And immediately, he didn't say it on the show, but when we were chatting right before, he's like, "Oh, you're dressed in joy." And I was like,
Victor, the
Victor
singer.
Jackson.
Oh, I love
Isn't
him.
he the best
He's the
human
best.
being
Love him so
ever?
much. I
He is
randomly
the
ran
best.
into him at my friend's goddaughter's dance performance at Juilliard.
Oh my
I know. He was
gosh.
just randomly there. I'm like, what are you doing here?
He is the best, the absolute most divine, blessed, just delicious human
I
being
know.
on the
I love
face
him.
of the planet. I love
I
him
hugged
so
him like
much.
5 times that day. It was.
Yeah. But like immediately, as soon as I came home, he's like, "Oh, we dressed in joy today." And I was like, "Why, yes, we are." Yes. So it's a brand that is increasingly on people's tongues, very
Yeah.
recognizable. You've done the Lord's work. You've given the people what they needed. What is next for Dress and Joy? You kind of have given us a hint already about moving into retail spaces. Is that
Yeah.
a
So
thing?
we are.
Please tell me you're launching. Like I was in. I know I asked you a question and now I'm getting ready to answer a question, but I was in Target the other day. No lie, I was in Target the other day and I was thinking about like some of the pieces in the collections that I've seen in Target. Tabitha Brown, of course, bought tons of her pieces. A lot of the pieces that I buy, sometimes I'll see you doing your little twirl magic with random pieces. I'm like, okay, I need that. I have a green dress right now that I have and still haven't worn it.
That's so.
But it was something that you bought. But like I was thinking about you in Target and I was like,
That
how
would be a
lovely
dream.
would it be
Actually, my
for
old
a capsule
manager,
collection?
not my current, the one I just left, but my manager before that, she was actually working on something with Target for me. It never panned out, but I did a whole pitch deck and everything. But no, we're working on getting someone to do our sales, like a salesperson for, stores like Nordstrom and Anthropologie and you know, big
I
box
can see it.
retail. So we have to be on their retail schedule, which means they're
Yeah.
going to start selling spring in like July, August, spring
Yeah.
24. So I
Yeah.
have to get that designed. We're working on a fashion week event, not a fashion show, but like maybe like a panel discussion and a presentation for that spring collection. But we're also going to be announcing something really cool for the brand around that time. Hopefully, if we can get it all together. Yeah, we're just growing as much as we can, and
Yeah.
like I'm working on some new styles. I have a new style coming this summer. I have a new style coming this
Oh.
fall, like new dresses that I'm
Oh,
really, really
sweet.
excited about. Yeah,
I love
just
it. I love
yeah,
it. I love it. And I really do want people, if you haven't already, go to dressedinjoy.com and just look through the catalog of all the things. There's just some pretty happy clothing
yes.
there that will absolutely make you smile. And you go up to, I want to, is it 3X?
Some pieces
Or
4X.
some pieces 4X.
Mm-hmm.
So the ladies, the girlies, the girlies and the
Yeah,
guys, okay, you can all get in where you fit in. Very inclusive sizing and styling. Like the clothing looks so good on I've not seen a person that it didn't look good in and didn't make me
yeah.
smile.
I think that's just because
I
you
love it.
feel so good when you wear it. So you
Mm-hmm.
know,
Mm-hmm.
people are
Very
pictures like just
comfortable.
excited that they feel good.
Yeah. Yeah, and just beautiful patterns. Like I said, I really do. I think I want the long sleeve crop polka dot
Mm-hmm.
and the white floral skirt. I'm not sure, but I think that's what I want. And there's an old school hoodie. I'm not even sure if it's still on your website, but I think one of the sleeves was polka dot. It's kind of like this, but like one of the sleeves was polka dot. And it had the black.
Um,
I'm not sure what it's called.
the
I'll
one that we
find it.
just
Don't you
had.
worry. No, it was old.
Um,
It was like one of the
oh yeah, it's
first.
that one. It's that one. It's
Yeah.
just like
Yeah.
it's just got a square
Yep.
here with that
That's the
print
one I
in it,
want. Yeah.
polka dot.
Yep. 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 So, couple old school pieces that I feel like I need. I think I need a twirly dress.
Yeah,
I think I need some lounge wear,
we got a maxi dress that I'm hoping I will have my sample of in the next 2 weeks, and then we can release early July.
Oh, I'm excited. I'm excited. Perfect. Perfect. End of summer going into fall. Sounds like a good outfit to wear to Napa with a good hat or
Mm-hmm.
something, like, or just sashay along the beach and let the wind take me away. I'm here for it.
Yes.
I'm here to be dressed in joy for the rest of my life.
Oh, we got kids dresses coming too. Kids dresses.
Really?
Yeah, I just got one
Oh
for
my
Elle that I don't know
gosh.
why she hasn't tried it on. I might make her try it on today.
And let me tell you something. If the internet don't go ahead and take notice to what Elle is laying down
Listen,
in these streets,
my little
okay?
fat.
She is something special. She is something special. And she gets it from her mama because she gonna put on what she feel like putting
Mm-hmm.
on, okay? Whatever she wants. There is no such thing as matching or not matching.
Not for
It's what goes together, what I feel like that
what her
day.
spirit is feeling in the moment.
Yes, yes. And I love that. I love that. I wish we did more of that. My daughter is similar in that some I be looking at her sometimes, I'm like,
Girl.
okay. Like, you can go outside and look like that if you want to. That's fine. I think, and the reason why I do that is an odd reason, but one of the things that I love the most about the Cosby Show back in the day, speaking of a family from BK, right,
Yeah.
was Denise Huxtable and her fashion.
Yes.
That was like the most memorable thing to me. One of the best things about that show was Denise, and she would just put everything
Mm-hmm.
together. And it was like, she is an icon. Denise Huxtable does not get her flowers
I
as much as she
know.
deserves. But she used to just put it together and it would be like, this is so
Yeah.
dope. I would have never thought. Same as you. You are the Denise Huxtable of our lifetime.
That's so funny
Okay.
because people actually say that that I remind them of Claire, just in the way that I like speak and mother and all of that.
Could be. I can see it. I see where they're coming from. But in terms of your style, right? In terms of being a style icon and the way in which you put
Ooh,
things together,
icon.
I'm giving you Denise. I'm giving you Denise Huxtable.
Okay, I'll take. I
Yep.
guess I'll take it.
Please do. Take it in the spirit that is given to you in love. You are the Denise Huxtable of our time, of our generation. And I love that for you. I love it for you. I love you. Thank you so much for joining Intimate Details with Dr. Tiff. I'm hoping and praying that everyone else follows Dressed in Joy on Instagram and all platforms that you visit, www.dressedinjoy.com, that you follow Mikaela Pabon, Mikaela.Pabon on Instagram, and that you go by the store. Tell us about the store before we close out.
Yeah, so our store is open Thursday, Friday, Saturday. We are in Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn on Hancock, 570 Hancock Street. And we have a lot of our ready to wear. I mean, a lot of our athleisure is available in our new styles. We have some ready to wear skirts and shirts. And what else? We also have some new things that are only going to be available in store, like a few little handbags and some solid colored pieces.
I gotta get to BK.
Yeah, I wanted to add just some new things that you can only get in store that are solid color, no prints, but still kind of match the vibe. So we just got all of it in yesterday. So I'm excited to have that in the store today. And yeah.
I'm excited for you. I've got to get to BK to get to the store because I every time you post pictures or video or anything from, I'm like, I want to go. I want to go. So I'm going to, next trip I come to New York and I have some time to stay, I will just venture to Brooklyn, to the store. Hopefully it's on the days that you're open so that I can come and see and sip and look around, try some things on,
Yeah.
and all that magic, all the magic that you're creating over in Brooklyn. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
I'm so, so proud of you. And I'm just sending love and encouragement and just, you go, Black girl. Magic over on your side of Brooklyn. I appreciate you. I appreciate everything that you do for us as women, for us as entrepreneurs, for us as a community. And I'm hoping that everyone else will give you that love and support that you absolutely deserve. The Denise Huxtable of our day, Mikaela Pabon. Thank you for being a guest on Intimate Details with Dr. Tiff. I appreciate
Thank you,
it.
Dr. Tiff. I appreciate
You're
having
most welcome.
me.
You're most welcome. And thank you guys for listening to our interview today. Like I said, you can definitely follow Mikaela Pabon and Dressed in Joy on Instagram. Also follow the podcast, Intimate Details Podcast. And follow us, like us, share us, comment, subscribe, and watch. This is an episode where you need to catch this print, darling. You need to catch the joy. So I'm hoping you're watching this podcast over on Spotify so you can see these beautiful prints and also how beautiful my guest is. I mean, I'm just saying, she's gorgeous. So watch us on Spotify, but find us on all the platforms, Spotify, Amazon Music, what else are we on? Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and all the things, iHeartRadio, all the things. Follow us there. And we'll see you next week. Okay? Ciao.